I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'm Tim Cavanaugh, Chairman of the Metropolitan Utilities District Board of Directors, and I'd like to welcome you all to the committee meetings this afternoon, January 7th, 2026. This meeting is being live streamed from the boardroom at the M.U.D headquarters building located at 7350 World Communications Drive. A recording of this meeting will be uploaded to the M.U.D website after the meeting's conclusion. I'd like to invite Vice President of Safety and Security, Shane Hunter, to provide a briefing regarding protocol for all individuals in attendance at the board meeting today in the event of an emergency. Shane.
Good afternoon. Shane Hunter, Vice President of Safety and Security. We are on the first floor here at M.U.D headquarters, and normal entry and exit into this room is through the back. There's also another exit here on our right-hand side. You'll see that door, and through that door in the hallway is the nearest first aid kit and fire extinguisher. Further down on the right, you'll see the nearest AED near the bathrooms. If we can have our show of hands, who's CPR and AED trained in the room? Great. Should we have a medical emergency in the space today, 911 will be contacted by the security officers at the front desk and escort EMS personnel in here. If we need to leave this room, you can use either door in an emergency. If we need to leave the building, we'll take this door here on our right, two lefts, and go to the parking garage for accountability. That concludes the safety briefing.
Thank you. Roll call.
Begley.
Here.
Cook.
Here.
Friend. Sidzik.
Here.
McGowan.
Here.
Howard.
Here.
Kavanaugh.
Here. I would like to advise all those in attendance that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is available on the wall in the back of the boardroom. Community Giving Drive Recap. Employees and retirees participated in the district's annual Community Giving Drive this fall. The fundraising drive allows donors the option to designate their funds to the district's utility assistance program, the Home Fund, and/or the United Way of the Midlands or other local nonprofit agencies. An employee committee was formed to promote the drive and engage employees. Committee members reached out to local businesses for prize donations and general donations to the M.U.D Home Fund. They also visited department and safety meetings to discuss the importance of giving back to our community. The drive was capped off with Pancake Man breakfasts at our headquarters and construction center. Altogether, our employees and retirees donated more than $87,000. On behalf of the board and our customer owners, I would like to thank everyone who participated in the drive. I'm honored to recognize this small but mighty committee who worked hard to execute this successful drive. Please stand as your name is called, or just stay standing.
Wave.
Yeah, wave. Rich Baird, Engineering Design. Cole Holmes, Meter Services. Chris Majors, IT. Trevor McIntyre, Corporate Communications. Angelique Sancho Hernandez, Customer Services. Skylar Smith, Corporate Communications. Rhonda Wyatt, Human Resources. Janelle Traylor is not here today from Contractor Services. Let's give them a round of applause. And they already have their certificates, I see. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thanks for all you did.
That's good. Yeah. Good.
Construction Operations, Senior Vice President, COO Kendall Miner will review the proposed capital expenditures behind tab 8.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year to everybody. So for this month, for January, for the CapEx letter, we have 12 items total, 8 annual authorizations, 2 items for builders, plants, and equipment, and 2 items for system improvements. I'm going to highlight 3 items for the annual authorizations this month, with the first item being item number 4, Water Infrastructure Replacement Program. This is approximately $31.7 million. This blanket authorization is for various projects throughout the district's water distribution system. Approximately 17 miles of the district's water system is slated to be replaced, with 7 miles of that work being completed by district crews. This would include conditional assessment program and higher consequence mains, that will be evaluated for rehabilitation and replacement. Just a note on that, we had a conditional assessment that was completed in December of last year. Went really well, had a lot of great information. It's a program that's really benefited the district, and we really strive to continually do that conditional assessment to help us have the longevity of our system, and engineering and the rest of the team does a really good job. Water D, construction, all the operations comes together and does a really good job to highlight areas of need. So greatly appreciate you guys' support for that. From the next item, item number 5, gas infrastructure replacement program. That's the GER program. Is going to be approximately $16.7 million. This blanket authorization is for various gas projects throughout the district on the gas distribution system. Approximately 18 miles of low-pressure cast iron gas mains will be abandoned and replaced. This work will be completed by M.U.D crews. It's also approximately 1,150 high-pressure gas meters. Services will be moved from inside structures to outside those structures. With that, will result in about 14 miles of high-pressure coated steel mains also to be replaced, and that work will be conducted by Q3. So that's just supplemental to our crews continually trying to meet our goals to get all of our gas RR work completed for the year. The next item I want to highlight is 2026 machines, vehicles, and equipment for transportation. That's $21.7 million. This blanket authorization is for construction equipment, vehicles, and outfitting vehicles for 2026. This also includes items for CC2 replacements and additions to the district's fleet. And with that, I will conclude and give you guys time for any questions and concerns.
One quick question. Even though we sign off on these blanket authorizations for infrastructure, individual projects are presented each at the time a board meeting, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
thank you. Director of Plant Engineering, Trevor Tonagis, will review the acceptance of contracts and payment of final estimates behind tab 9.
Good afternoon, Trevor Tonagis, Director of Plant Engineering. This month I've got 4 projects on the finals list. I'll touch on each of them since it's kind of a short list this month. Items A and C were large new subdivisions. One of them was 156th and Bennington Road, and the other was like 204th and Harrison. The 2 projects combined added 1.8 miles of 8-inch and about 1.7 miles of 6-inch water main to our system, and both of these were completed by Cedar Construction. Item B was just over a half mile of 12-inch main that was added to our system near 108th and McKinley. This is just east of Highway 133 and south of Rainwood Road. A lot of development going on up there. This was completed by Kirsten Construction. And then finally, item D was a project to add a secure platform to the Florence Water Treatment Facility's low service intakes at the headers there along the river. This will allow operational staff at the plant to safely monitor those intakes during the winter time especially, and also deploy ice eaters and other countermeasures if river conditions warrant that, with them dropping in ice dams, things like that. So that is all I have this month. Are there any questions?
Yeah, one quick question. Just, it seems kind of odd on item number D. The bid and the actual are exactly the same?
Yeah, that is kind of rare, isn't it? This one was a lump sum bid, just due to the nature of the work. It was well scoped and well defined, so we didn't have any unit items on that one. So they completed the work as designed, and we got exactly what we asked for. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. Vice President of Procurement and Enterprise Services, John Zellers, will now review bids on materials and contracts behind tab 10.
Good afternoon. John Zellers, Vice President of Procurement and Enterprise Services, and I'm speaking to tab 10. There are several items I would like to discuss, and the first may be found at the bottom of page 1. We are asking for the ratification for the purchase of a 3-year software license for SAP Field Service Management and SAP Service and Asset Manager. These software applications replace the existing SAP Work Manager and Salesforce Field Service Edge systems, which are nearing the end of life and are required to be upgraded to meet our operational needs. The applications are essential in the day-to-day field operations of divisions that include field services, water distribution, gas distribution, and meter services, by which standard and emergency work orders are assigned and managed through the software. SAP is the sole provider of the software. IT negotiated with SAP and initiated a contract knowing that savings are gained by procuring the software licensing before year end. Invoicing and payments will occur annually throughout the 3-year term. The next few items may be found on page 2. We accepted bids for 1 ride-on sweeper and 1 ride-on sweeper scrubber. Both machines will be used by facilities management to support the cleaning of parking lots, the drive-through bay, garage, and exterior paving at CC2. The sweeper scrubber is for indoor use that can perform sweeping, but its primary function is to clean wet spills and wet scrub floors. The sweeper can be used inside and outside and is designed for heavy-duty sweeping of gravel, dirt, sand, and other debris in large areas. Aviate Enterprises provided the lowest bid, meeting all specifications for each machine. The equipment offered by other bidders with lower bids has several exceptions to the specifications, offering units that had substantially smaller capacities and significantly lower productivity rates. The bids by Aviate Enterprises are recommended for approval. We accepted bids for 2 small electric forklifts. Both units will be used by stores, one which will be at CC2. The other one will replace a 1989 propane unit that is no longer economical to maintain and will be used in our Operations Center warehouse. The second low bid is recommended for approval, as the low bidder had many exceptions to the specifications, with the units offered being oversized with a longer than specified turning radius, both of which would cause maneuverability challenges within the warehouses. The next 2 items may be found on page 3. We are recommending the second extension to the contract with Anderson Roofing for roof inspection and maintenance services for M.U.D facilities. The pricing includes a 2.7% increase for inspections and the addition of the roofs at CC2. The contract was bid in 2024, in which Anderson was the low bidder. The second lowest bid at that time was $256,000. We are recommending the extension for professional services for water pitcher and water test kits distribution. The board may recall awarding a contract to Trupani in December 2024 to distribute water pitchers, 6-month lead removing filters, and test kits as part of our lead water service replacement program as required by EP's lead and copper rule. When a lead service is replaced, regulations require that we provide a certified lead reducing pitcher and filters to the customer to be used for 6 months, and upon 3 to 6 months after service replacement, offer a test kit to confirm lead levels in their water. In addition to the distribution of the pitchers and the test kits, the contract requires the collection of data and the development of accurate documentation that will be submitted to the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy as required under the lead and copper rule. Trupani performed very well in 2025 and has agreed to hold their pricing structures with no increase. The last item I'd like to cover is in the purchase letter, which is actually under tab 11. Last month, we retracted the letter due to an error related to the automotive and construction passenger tires. The bid amounts of the 2 bidders were transposed and have been corrected on this month's letter. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I have a question about the SAP licensing. Is that $771,000, et cetera, each year for the next 3 years, or that's for 26, 27?
Yeah, it's through 2029, and then we will pay annually about $290,000 a year.
In addition to?
No.
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 Okay, it's broken out.
Correct.
Divided
Correct.
by 3.
Yes.
Thank you. And I feel like we just bought this. Is that because time goes by faster the older you are? Did we,
Well, we've had,
when Sue was here?
Want to give me a shot?
Yes, please.
yes, I will give you a shot.
Mark
Thank you.
Lewis, President. So we use the term SAP a lot, which I'm a little, I kind of wish we wouldn't, because that's a vendor name instead of just a product. So you heard a lot about SAP what do I want to say, for HANA? S4 HANA for the last year or two. We've been upgrading. In SAP, this is a little different. About 10 years ago, I'm going to keep this short, but this is really a big upgrade here. About 10 years ago, we started working on a system to put in for field services to not only just track things, but to do lowest cost, fastest routing, service orders, all of the things that companies that deliver things all the time wish they were as good as us. That's my shameless plug for our company. Skills-based routing, in other words, if you're sitting there with a gas system or some kind of a regulator open and we get a gas leak, the system knows to go to the closest technician that has the skills to do this. So this is another product under SAP that used to be called Click Work Manager. So it's a system that we put in about 10 years ago. And we're now converting it because the other systems are, you hear it all the time, they're going out of, is Jensen in the room? Am I being accurate here? Okay, thanks, then I don't need your help. They're going out, but I'll call for it. They're going out of support. We have an opportunity to put it under SAP, probably with systems they've purchased to more consolidate. But this particular system, and I'm doing this for Mr. Chair Kavanaugh, we wouldn't be able to get to a 2-hour window if it wasn't for these applications, and they're just getting better. So thank you for spending this kind of money for us. I really don't want to minimize it. These are such important systems, and our technicians and our field folks have been so supportive and help us get to where we are. But the short version is we keep saying SAP, this is something entirely different, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to tell you what you're getting here, and it's something.
And Mark, just to clarify and toss a softball to you, that 2-hour window, is it 94% of our calls that
I'm going to ask
we
for
get
help
within
here.
that
I'm gonna say
2-hour window?
Probably.
That's what we get.
Yep.
Month we get it.
So you get that's Jerry back there, right? Boy, it's great to have the union president backing me up. I'm telling you. Is that about right, Steph? Yeah? Yeah.
So again, thanks to Chair Kavanaugh for really pushing that over the years to have that 2-hour window.
Well, it's very important to our ratepayers when they have an issue. I mean, a lot of times they don't have any contact with us other than to pay their bill faithfully every month. Then when they need somebody, they expect it right away. And I'm just glad our technology's advanced to the point where we can actually be leaders in this field and not just followers like a lot of places are.
But thank you for asking that. Yeah, we're hitting it almost all the time. And usually if we aren't, it's not necessarily our fault. Somebody changed their, so thanks for the opportunity. Thank you. All right.
Speaking of money and what we're spending, could you explain to me, make me a little smarter about this, why there's such a difference in the cost of this ride-on sweeper as in the bids? And I hope we've got somebody really qualified to ride on that.
We do. And actually, the two pieces of equipment that we're purchasing are the exact same that we have at CC1, which is a benefit because our team is already familiar with it and knows how to operate and so forth. Really what the difference between what the lower bids were and what we're recommending is the capacity and the size and the productivity rate. What the others were bidding is undersized. So I would equate it to needing a F-250 or F-350 to pull a trailer and trying to do it with a Ford Ranger.
Not being a truck person.
Oh, sorry.
So we require the bigger, the more capable model to do this work? Is that what you're?
Correct. So just the volume of square footage that we clean daily, at CC2, that's going to be a minimum of 65,000 square feet. And so in having that higher productivity rate, plus the type of work you're doing with gravel and debris and mud coming off of construction vehicles, we need that more robust piece of equipment in order to handle that task.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Vice President of Engineering, Masania, will now review the proposed main extensions behind tab 12.
Good afternoon, Masania, Vice President of Engineering. Behind tab 12, you'll find the main extensions letter where we have 1 water and 2 gas projects this month. The impact of the water main extension includes available water service and fire protection for 21 residential lots and 1 multifamily lot. The impact of the gas projects include available gas service for 134 residential, 1 school, 13 commercial, and 2 multifamily lots, so quite the variety there. All these projects, as you can see from the project description, are located in northwestern Omaha, so it shows our continued growth in that direction. The gas projects, GP 2929 Morgan Ridge and GP 2952 Antler View West, includes approximately $26,000 and $20,000 respectively to oversize the gas mains to more efficiently serve future growth in that area. This involves approximately 3,500 feet of 2-inch mains that will be installed as 4-inch gas pipe. And that is all I have to cover, and would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President of Human Resources, Bonnie Savine, will now review employee wage and/or salary increases and ratifications behind tab 13.
Good afternoon. Bonnie Savine, Vice President, Human Resources. I'm going to give a recap here on employee counts, and we do continue to see our employee count rise, which has been a pleasant number to reach. At the end of December 2024, we had 896 regular full-time employees and 5 regular part-time for a total of 901. To end this December, we had 928 regular full-time employees and 2 regular part-time employees. That gave us a total of 930. We also have 12 interns that continue to work on staff. And then a brief review of jobs actively in various stages of job placement. It is the beginning of the year. We have a new budget in place, and therefore we definitely have some new positions to fill. Additionally, we have had a group of retirements toward the end of the year, so that always advances the number of placements that we are looking to fill at the beginning of the year. So currently we have 13 jobs that have requisitions that are going through the review and approval process. That is for 20 full-time equivalents and 1 intern. We have 4 jobs that are posted currently. Those are to fill 6 vacancies. 3 of those are posted internally and externally, and then we have 1 that is external only. We have 21 additional jobs that are in the application review or interview stages, and then we also have 3 jobs that have some selected candidates that will be onboarding very soon. I will mention our new part-time executive administrative assistant that will be supporting the president's office begins on Monday. So we look forward to that. Especially Sarah looks forward to that. Behind tab 13, you will find the wage and/or salary increases and ratifications letter. Human Resources is recommending the Board of Directors approve wage or salary increases for 16 of our employees this month. 8 of those are OAC employees receiving promotions through the standard process of promotion and posting. 6 OAC employees will have promotions through the natural progression process in their job family. And we have 2 SPA employees that are also receiving promotions. In the very last section, you will see 1 new hire ratification as well. And I will also move on to tab 14, if that's okay. The letter under tab 14 outlines a recommendation that the Board of Directors approve the promotion of Geneva Patterson as Vice President, Rates and Customer Billing. Geneva joined the district on November 14, 2005 as a rate analyst, bringing previous finance and utility experience, along with an educational background that includes bachelor and master's degrees in accounting. In her 20 years with the district, she has progressed to her current role as Director, Rates and Regulatory Affairs, with an organizational move that brings customer billing team underneath of Geneva. Her job was reevaluated, resulting in a change from her current director level to a vice president level. In view of the additional responsibilities as Vice President, Rates and Customer Billing, it is recommended that the President be authorized to increase the salary of Geneva to, or I should say effective January 16th, 2026, and that aligns with district policy as outlined in the letter. Questions?
I think Geneva's here, isn't she? Can she please stand up back there?
Hello.
Congratulations, Geneva.
Congratulations.
Bonnie,
Yes.
not a question, just a comment with Geneva. Being on the rate committee, I've had many opportunities to work with Geneva on many things. And I will say, she is always in command of everything in her subject. She knows rates, knows regulatory, and is always prepared at every meeting for any question and answer. She does a great job, and this is a well-deserved promotion. Congratulations.
Ditto.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senior Vice President, General Counsel, Mark Mendenhall. Oh, he is here. I didn't see you. Will now review the 28th Avenue parcels, property purchased behind tab 15.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. Mark Mendenhall, Senior Vice President, General Counsel. You may recall back at the November board meeting, the board authorized the district to enter into purchase agreements. There were 3 properties along North 28th Avenue. This is just on the west boundary of our Florence property. This request is to authorize the district to move forward with the steps associated with closing on those properties, but I want to be clear, it's still subject to my discretion, my professional advice. I'll be working with both Attorney Justin Cooper as well as Mr. Doyle. There are items on the titles for the 3 properties that we still need to work through. Based on the due diligence timeline we have in the purchase agreement, so I thought I would get authorization from you all first while we are working through those title issues. I will add, we have completed a phase 1 environmental study as well as site analysis. The properties themselves physically are appropriate for the purposes that we're looking for. Again, just a few title issues that we still need to work through. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Director of Program Management, Emily Hovda Walton, will present the lead service line replacement program update behind tab A.
Good afternoon, Emily Hovda Walton, Director of Program Management. I have some slides. Jay, are you able to pull those up? There we go. So I'd like to provide you all an update on the district's lead service line replacement program. Slide. Oh. As a reminder, water service lines are the responsibility of the property owner. This graphic shows what makes up a typical residential service. M.U.D owns the distribution and transmission mains, while the items downstream of the corporation are the responsibility of the property owner. M.U.D started replacing lead service lines in 2017, adding a dedicated lead service line replacement program in 2023. In 2025, the district had a goal of replacing 650 customer-owned lead service lines. We have exceeded this goal by replacing 710 lead lines. In 2025, the district also completed a pilot program to identify and classify lead status unknown services. This was successful and completed almost 40 service line verifications. In 2026, we have set a growth goal of replacing 1,032 customer-owned lead service lines. The district is bringing on 8 contractors to help achieve this goal. Work will be funded by a partially forgivable 0% interest drinking water state revolving fund loan. Slide. Our strategy is unified under a single mission: detect, correct, protect. We are working to detect every customer-owned lead service line within our service territory, correcting this issue by replacing these lines at no direct cost to the customers, and finally doing what we can to protect our customers from lead. Lead service lines and status unknown lines can roughly be seen by the map. Most lead lines are located east of 72nd Street. This area has the highest concentration of homes built prior to 1940. There are some pockets of lead status unknown service lines outside of this area. These generally represent areas that the district did not originally supply water to and later joined the district system. Slide. The M.U.D webpage has a number of great resources for customers to learn more about the program. One such resource is the interactive map where customers can search their address and learn more about their service line material. The example shown is the M.U.D Operations Center, and this facility has a non-lead line and it does not require replacement. All known lead or galvanized service lines are automatically enrolled as part of the replacement program, with unknown lines requiring material verification to classify. The M.U.D webpage also features resources that help walk customers through the entire replacement process and what they can expect. There are instructions and videos on flushing, obtaining water sample test kits, and water pitchers. Looking ahead, the district will continue to update the board on finer details of the LCRI and lead service line replacement progress. This year's success is a direct result of the collaboration and efforts of engineering, IT, GIS, water quality, legal, field service, and customer experience teams. Not every utility is as far along in the process as M.U.D, and we owe that progress to the hard work of our staff and ongoing support of this board. Thank you.
I have a question. How would one get a water pitcher? What's the process for that? Do they just, oh, we're on your street, and this week we leave your water pitcher on your porch? How does that work?
Yeah, so our webpage, under the lead service line replacement portal, you can scroll down and it will walk the customer through on how to obtain a pitcher. There's a brief survey to fill out indicating that you have a lead service line, and then it's very simple to go through. And our customer experience team is more than happy to help out as well.
So do they have a heads up? I know they've been having community meetings and Zoom meetings, but could I look mine up and say, oh, shoot, I have a lead line and get my water pitcher now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then after it's in, I have to use it a little bit too, don't I?
That is correct. There are instructions for post-replacement sort of care.
It's all coming back. Thank you.
Yeah, and that is a good point. Our website does have a virtual workshop that was recorded this year, led by our customer experience team. So you can learn more about the program there. You can see on the screen here, it's that first white box. So by clicking that, customers are able to look through the PDFs or actually view a webinar.
Emily, thanks for the presentation.
Yeah, thank you.
As we ramp up from 710 services being replaced to 1,032 to about 1,527.
Correct.
With regard to the customer engagement staff, as we're doubling up in 2 years, how do you see staffing being affected in terms of having double the number of services that are being replaced and customers to deal with that are going through this?
Yeah, certainly. I can't necessarily speak exactly to the customer experience. That would be Steph's group. But I do know that we benefit from the contractors coming back this year. So we have a lot of experienced contractors that we're going to be relying on and bringing into 2026. So I think that will help.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a question. Not all of our customers have computers or that technically capable. Is there a number they can call if they just want to have a simple explanation or have a question they'd like to have answered?
Correct, there is. So they're able to, they've received brochures on how to do this as well. So they can reach our customer engagement team and they can walk them through this process and they can help them fill out the surveys and then explain what may or may not be coming for their address. So I don't have it here. It's on our webpage. I apologize.
We're back to the webpage.
I know, isn't that terrible? I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right, but I don't think, especially when we're looking at this area, there are a lot of older homes and there are a lot of seniors, and they may not be comfortable. They may want to talk to somebody.
Yeah, certainly. And our they have received mailers with that number. So, oh, it was very small. My eyesight is not that great. But they will be able to answer any questions.
Okay. Could you give that to me and I'll write it down?
Certainly.
402-504-7024.
402
Don't mumble.
504 7029.
0. One more time, run it through one more time.
402
Right.
504 7029.
29, thank you.
But just to reiterate, Mark Doyle, President, we do mail to the homes.
That is correct.
Yeah, more than once a year.
Yeah, at least once a year, they will
Okay.
receive a notification.
So we automatically enroll all those that we know.
Correct.
So they would get a mailer, and they also can serve themselves if they choose to.
That is correct. Thank
Okay.
you, Mark.
Thanks. Great program, great job.
Absolutely.
Great support. It's really, I feel real good about this one.
Thank you all.
We all should.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public in attendance today who would like to address the board? Do any board members, excuse me, do any board members or management have any further comments they wish to share?
Director, Chairman Kavanaugh, I have one quick comment. I told last month about my unfortunate experience of having a sewer backup. In looking for a restoration company, I interviewed, talked to several companies. One of them was PuroClean, and the owner of the company came over and was talking to me, and he said they were real busy working on some M.U.D. cleanups related to M.U.D. water pipes. I said, well, I'm on the board of M.U.D., and he says, well, let me tell you, those employees are the best employees. He says, I've never had such good experience working with a company that really is interested in the well-being of their ratepayers. He said they go out of their way to do what's right for the ratepayer. And he was very complimentary of the employees. And I just want to tell all the employees, it's great to get that kind of feedback as a board. So thank you.
That's great to hear. Thank you. Mark, there's just a lot of sickness going on in my office at work. We got a lot of people out. How are you managing through this? I'm sure you have to have the same issues going on right now.
Well, I would like to defer to someone who might know or might not. But I know it's going around. I'm positive of that.
Yes, I would say we are experiencing some of the same symptoms in our organization as in other organizations, but we do try to encourage our employees that, work when you can work, but we want people to be conscientious of their coworkers because we all have families at home as well. Holiday season means that you're around more people and sometimes more susceptible people as you're visiting family. So we just encourage our employees to use their best judgment and come to work when they can work, and certainly use their sick benefits when they can't.
Are any of your folks working from home and not feeling up to coming into the office, but still feeling like they can handle some things?
Well, what I would say is our work from home policy tries to bridge the gap between those in the field that if they are sick and they cannot work, they don't get to stay at home and work. So we have the same criteria in our work from home policy that if an employee was expected in the office for that day and they're not well enough to work, that it's the same sick day as somebody in the field. So for the most part, no, we don't have employees that simply just work from home, but we do have, those that have a flexible work day where they determine which day they're in the office, and so that might be afforded to them as well. So.
Well, very, very good. Good luck.
Thanks.
The meeting is now concluded. Mark, do we have to wait till 1, or can we start early?
I think we notified, public notification was 1:45, so yeah, we can take a 7-minute break.
Okay, let's reconvene at 10 minutes to 2. 1 minute. I would like to call the meeting to order. I'm Tim Cavanaugh, Chairman of the Metropolitan Utilities District Board of Directors, and I'd like to welcome you all to the regular monthly board meeting this afternoon, January 7th, 2026. This meeting is being live streamed from the boardroom at the M.U.D headquarters building located at 7350 World Communications Drive, and a recording of this meeting will be uploaded to the M.U.D website after the meeting's conclusion. Roll call, please.
Begley.
Here.
Cook.
Here.
Friend. Sidzik.
Here.
McGowan.
Here.
Howard.
Here.
Kavanaugh.
Here. I would like to advise all those in attendance that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is available on the wall in the back of the boardroom. And now for those who wish to participate, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Play ball.
I would like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the committee meetings and regular board meetings for December 3rd, 2025.
I so move.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes. We will now take up the election of the new board chair. Do we have a motion to nominate a new chair?
Mr. Chair, I move to nominate Gwen Howard as the chair of the board for 2026.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes. I would like at this time to pass the gavel to the new
you.
chair.
Why, thank you.
And I want to personally thank all the staff at M.U.D for the support this past year. Every year there's brand new issues and they're all serious, and I think we got through this year pretty well. And I want to thank the board members for the support this year, and I have complete confidence that Gwen's going to continue the progress we've made and keep us as one of the leading public utilities in the country. So, Gwen, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I'd have to say I'm really proud and honored to be able to be the chairperson of this board. I have a great mentor here, and my campaign pledge is to retain Director Kavanaugh's starting time of 1 o'clock, which I hope that works for everyone. I'm sure I'll see you here next month at that time, but thank you. Move on. Now we'll have the election of vice chair. We'll now take up the election of the vice chair. Do I have a motion to nominate the vice chair? And I think I'll do that myself. I nominate Director Tanya Cook as our vice chair.
Second.
Sorry, my bigaboo. Do we have any discussion? Well, thank you. Roll call, please.
Begley.
Yes.
Cook.
Yes.
Sidzik.
Yes.
McGowan.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Kavanaugh.
Yes.
dang. Could you just push this button? All committee assignments will remain in place. No vote is necessary. Please place this on file.
Did everybody accept the same assignments? So that's what's, okay.
Oh, that's good. Director Kavanaugh, on behalf of our customer owners, from fellow M.U.D. board members and employees, would like to thank you for your leadership. Sincerely thank you for your leadership. Serving as our board chair this past year, please accept this plaque as a token of our appreciation. There you go.
Well, thank you very much. I'm honored to receive this.
Would you like to say anything else, or?
I already said it.
Okie dokie.
I just want to thank Director Kavanaugh for your steadfast leadership. And Tim, we've been colleagues for, gosh, over a decade now on this board. And one thing I admire about the way you handle things, you are a really good listener. And I often try to tell my kids that the Lord bless us in proportion with 2 ears and 1 mouth. And you are an excellent public servant and a friend, and thanks for everything you've done as chair this past year and for the district and your great tenure here. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you. I'm going to have my wife read the minutes of this meeting.
Well,
which pair of glasses are you going to use, by the way? I
mean, you know, I don't normally speak up on these, but I feel like this year I need to. And congratulations. We look forward to working with you and the entire board, Director Howard, as we always do. But so Director Kavanaugh, this is such an unusual year, and I don't know that it'll ever be duplicated. I'm secretary of the board, you know that, as well as president. I've never served as secretary to the Douglas County Treasurer, and I'm not sure a president ever will. So for you to be pulling double duty, I think we're about the same vintage. I'm impressed. And I think they made a great choice, and we wish you well for the rest of that tenure, and thank you for your leadership and your support this year.
Thank you.
It's been my pleasure to serve as your vice chair. You've been a mentor, a good example, and I've certainly learned from you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. It's all yours.
Thank you. I was waiting to see if there was any other glories for you. Capital expenditures, Director Cizik, if you could address that.
Yes, thank you. I move to approve the capital expenditures as presented in the committee meetings by Senior Vice President and Chief Operations Officer Kendall Minor, and as outlined in his letter to the committee dated December 30th, 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Agenda number 9.
Number 9, Director Cizik.
Thank you. I move to approve the acceptance of contracts and final payments as presented in the committee meetings by Director of Plant Engineering Trevor Tomages, and as outlined in his letter to the committee dated December 29th, 2025.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Agenda item number 10, bids on contracts and materials. Again, Director Cizik.
Yes. I move to approve the bids on materials and contracts as presented at the committee meetings by Vice President of Procurement and Enterprises Services John Zellers, and as outlined in Sherry Lightfoot's letter to the committee dated December 24th, 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion. Is there any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Yes.
Agenda item number 11, notice of purchases between $25,000 and $50,000. Director Cizik, once again.
Yes, thank you. I request to place the notice of purchases between $25,000 and $50,000 on file dated December 24th, 2025.
No vote needed. Thank you. Agenda item 12, main extension, Director Bagley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for approval of the main extensions as presented in the committee meetings this afternoon by Masania and outlined in his memo from December 24th, 2025.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik? Yes.
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Agenda item number 13, wage and/or salary increases and ratification. Director Bagley.
Thank you. I move for approval of the wage and/or salary increases and ratifications as discussed in committee this afternoon and outlined in Bonnie Savine's memo dated December 26, 2025.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Item agenda number 14, selection of vice president, rates and customer billing. Director Bagley.
I move for approval of the promotion of Geneva Patterson from Director of Rates and Regulatory Affairs to Vice President of Rates and Customer Billing.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Just
One
well-deserved.
quick thing, I want to reiterate what I said in the regular board meeting. This is a well-deserved promotion. She worked so hard and has such a command of her area, and I'm very happy for her.
I ditto that, and she's always been, as long as I've known her, a champion for the district, which we're all proud of it, but she just sets such a great example of who we are in the community as well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Item agenda 15, number 28 Avenue parcels and properties purchase.
That's me.
Director Kavanaugh.
Item 15, I'm recommending that the board authorize management to take necessary steps to finalize the purchase of 3 lots on North 28th Avenue at 8511, 8517, and 8519. The funds necessary for closing are included in the 2026 budget. I move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Agenda item number 16, any other matters of business, district business for discussion? Do any of the board members or management have any further comments that they'd wish to share? Thank you. Agenda item number 17, public comment. Are there any members of the public present who would like to address the board? Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're up. Okay, I just want to make sure the microphone's off, right?
If you could give us your name and address, that would be helpful.
Sure. Sean Ashton, 11802 North 157th Ave, Bennington, Nebraska. At least I have a fellow Raider fan on the board, so I think I have a chance here, Mr. Kavanaugh. Been to a Raider game with me before on my bus trip. Yes. I come before you today. Huh? Yes. Yeah, we had a VIP limo, you guys. We had to crawl out the window because the door wouldn't open. It was VIP limo nonetheless. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I come before you today to point out some practices that I feel are unduly targeting people of lesser means and to try to find ways to resolve these issues. To give you a little insight into my background, I was one of the founders of the Reader newspaper, Shout Weekly, Focus, and pretty much every other arts and entertainment news weekly up until COVID, and I've been a member of the media for over 30 years, kind of aging myself a little, but the primary issue of my concern today relates to the practice of excessive deposits being collected due to multiple shutoffs and customers who are being threatened with shutoffs, even though their deposit far exceeds their ability to run up the bill to the deposit amounts. A simple example. A customer has an $800 deposit and their bill is only averaging $80 to $100 a month. They're behind $200 to $300 and being threatened with shutoff notices, calls, notes on the door for their children to see and be fearful of, etc. This also exacerbates the mental health issues and trauma that resulted from struggling already that led up to their original inability to pay. Further isolating people and adding to their demise, I'm sure is in no way the purpose of these unfair practices. Even though they could not pay the bill for another 6 months and still be under the deposit amount you're holding for security. If this was a small business and my customer asked for me to offer a service when I was holding 8 to 10 times the amount that they owed and I refused, I wouldn't be concluding services for very long. Also devising payment plans by telling customers who are already distressed and wondering when they'll be able to make their next payment that they have to follow a pay plan that needs to be paid by X day every month or it will be canceled and the service is disconnected doesn't seem like a viable solution. Or attempting to comfort customers by assuming that if they can only pay, by assuring them if they can only pay their bill, my eyes are going bad, on time for 12 months, you will return the extreme amount you're sitting on when they don't know when their next check is coming in. I'm asking with deep sincerity that these excessive amounts be returned to these customers. When customer service representatives are asked to speak to a supervisor directly, this is avoided at all costs, and the representative comes back with an only slightly less ridiculous payment plan. I wasn't even aware that you had a customer service care division, and I made it clear that I was attending this meeting. Customer care should be a first response measure, not used like a last line of defense. For this reason, when I was finally repeatedly contacted, it was far too late for me to wish to discuss this just over a phone call. It seems that all these deposits should be in a separate interest-bearing account to offset the burden and further help people that are experiencing hard times. It should not be left alone to the generosity of others to meet the needs of the needy. We have to act together as one to solve these issues. Federal funding and government help cannot ease the need for the greater good. We have to act together to rebuild our communities from within, which includes full transparency and a sincere effort to work together, both corporations and citizens, for the greater good of all, not just profiteering. Thank you.
Mark Doyle, President. Thank you for your comments. Before I ask Vice President Stephanie Mueller to take the microphone, in terms of the topic of deposits in general, we want to make sure that the board's clear on what they are for and what they aren't for. And we are doing a major research on deposits based on some discussion we had last year, Director Kavanaugh. And so we kind of want to set the stage here. We won't discuss any individual accounts. We never will. And I do want you to know that coming from me, you can be very proud of how we do help customers. And a small business wouldn't serve some of the customers we continue to serve, and we have an obligation to serve, and we're proud to serve. So that analogy, that's fine, but that doesn't ring true with me. So Stephanie, would you like to take the microphone and maybe give a few points here on the topic?
Thanks.
If I share this with you?
No.
Good afternoon, Stephanie Mueller, Vice President of Customer Experience. And I do have a little bit of a cold, Director Kavanaugh, so excuse my voice. And I did bring a few notes up. I was anticipating Mr. Ashton coming to the meeting today. He had a discussion with our Director of Customer Services, Shallon Buffum, and she passed along your concerns, and then, as you said, I tried to reach out to you a few times. I think you've had a couple personal issues, and we weren't able to connect. So thank you for coming today and sharing your thoughts. As you know, President Doyle said, we're not going to really go in too much into deposits, but I did want to address a little bit what deposits are for. So as a customer starts service, and if they don't have a credit with us currently or with another utility from a residential standpoint, we do ask that they pay a deposit. And generally, that's a $200 deposit. And in addition to that, as customers do experience some collection activity, there are incremental deposits that are assessed, and those deposits are capped out at $600. So just giving that little high background, deposits are held really to make sure that we have adequate funding for final bills, and that also helps to reduce our write-off on an annual basis. So that's the intent of a deposit. They do earn interest, and they are held separately. And when a deposit is refunded, it does include any interest that was earned over the life of the deposit. The other thing I wanted to point out is I think that we do, and I don't get to talk about this often enough, I'm a customer advocate, as many of us are here, all of us are, but that's my core mission is customer advocacy. And I feel that it's critical that we point out how much we do work with our customers, and really disconnections are a last resort. We have several processes in place in which to help customers, not only through payment arrangements, but we do make notifications prior to any disconnection through automatic phone calls, trying to alert a customer that they do have a pending disconnection. And in addition to that, we are in the process of soon this year launching our customer preferences, which will allow customers to get notifications on payments that are coming up due. Maybe they were late on a payment. They can select how they can be notified on those types of situations. So that's going to be an exciting release yet this year. But I did want to also point out some of the other things that we're doing for the community and for our customers. We have our home fund, which all of you are very much aware. And I wanted to point out in 2025, there were 846 customers that received assistance through our home fund, totaling a little over $324,000. We have our annual Heat the Streets event, and in 2025, over $225,000 were raised to help those customers that are in need. And in addition to that, over the last year and a half, we've partnered with OPPD in starting community resource fairs. And this last year, we held one in North Omaha, one in South Omaha. And those are in coordination not just with the utilities, but we bring in several agencies. We bring in the state of Nebraska, that customers can speak with them on site to take an application to see if they qualify for LIHEAP dollars. And then there's also numerous other local agencies that attend, seeing what other types of assistance we can provide to customers. So we feel that's critical to our mission, not only as a customer advocate, but being a community partner. So I wanted to just point out a few of those things. And as I said, Mr. Ashton, I'm happy to meet with you after the meeting and discuss your personal account if you so choose, or any other items that you'd like. So, okay.
Stephanie, I do have a question. At what point would the deposit be kept? At what stage in this process? Would it be prior to shut off? Would it be after? Would it be when an account is closed and no further responses are being received by the district? At what point is the deposit being kept?
So when a customer initiates service is when we request a deposit, and that's billed on the first monthly bill for that account. If a customer is experiencing a disconnection situation, the first time that they're disconnected, there is no additional deposit assessed, assuming there's a hardship of some sort. But as we have customers that continue to have disconnections, those deposits are then assessed incrementally, and that goes on that next month's bill.
But at what point would the deposit not be returned to the customer?
The deposit is held until there's 12 months, on a residential, there's 12 months of good standing. So that would mean that they've made all of their payments within a 12-month period of time.
Well, I know that there has been businesses where the deposits were still being held and it was more than a year. Do they have to request it, or is it something where it's refunded at a certain stage? And if I'm hearing properly, there's no more deposits for a customer over a year that's been a customer of ours?
So there's criteria for a residential customer to waive a deposit. Having service previously and being in good standing is one way. Having a letter of credit from another utility. Also being a homeowner is a way to waive deposit. So I would say 80% of our customers don't pay deposits on the residential side.
Because they already had service of some kind.
Correct. And then on the commercial side, it's a whole nother set of criteria. Oftentimes, we run into situations where we have a business that's established, but they're oftentimes LLCs, where they're limiting liability, and if they want to put that into another name, we would require another deposit. So there's a whole list of criteria for on the commercial side.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That was really helpful. There were many things about that I didn't know. I actually thought we retained deposits until someone actually closed their account and sold their house and moved away. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I hope this was information that was helpful to you and you can discuss it further.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, my name is Mary.
Give your name and your address for the record.
Sure. Mary Minturn, 3416 Hawthorne Avenue, 68131. I think Director Cook is our representative in that area. Yes.
Excellent representative.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's been to one of our neighborhood meetings, in fact, yeah. As well as has Mark Mendenhall Council. So I'm here today to talk about the future of the Walnut Hill Reservoir M.U.D property. Yeah, so it's just a few blocks from my house, and I'm sure as you all know, whatever is going to happen there when M.U.D is ready to transfer title has been of great concern to all the neighborhoods around there. I do want to just start by saying M.U.D has been a great neighbor, actually, in the area. I've heard people say or call that property, the reservoir property, an eyesore, but I've never heard anyone in the neighborhood call it an eyesore. In fact, some people have said, I don't care if they ever do anything there, you know, just leave it alone. It's such a good boundary between 40th Street and Hamilton Street. It keeps the neighborhoods quiet. But also, you know, the lower half, the eastern half of the property, M.U.D has been really great in maintaining that as a park site for the neighborhoods. It's well used. When I was little growing up, my dad used to take us there on hot summer nights, and we'd see the lights on the water, and it was beautiful. It was like a magical experience for kids all over Omaha. And then when we moved to Florence, I used to deliver newspapers to the Florence plant behind the wire fence and go up like 50 steps to an old Victorian home. I don't know, it was a caretaker's home or whatever, but me and my brother, we delivered newspapers up there. Anyway, and then also I do have to mention when the gas lines were just replaced down our tree-lined streets, we're all in a panic about the health of the trees with all the digging going on. And M.U.D was very amenable to meeting with us, to coming on site, and worked with us really well to help prevent any further damage to the trees. So anyway, moving on. I personally feel like we need a Parks and Recs development at the Walnut Hill Reservoir site once the tanks are removed and the site's cleaned up. The City Parks Department had a recent study done, and one of the results of that study, I can't remember the name of the company that did it, but was that there is uneven distribution across Omaha in quality park facilities. And our neighborhoods are one of those. We don't have a splash park for our kids, for example, nor basketball courts. So those are some things that would benefit the neighborhoods. That was my thought. I've been passing around a petition to the surrounding neighborhoods. We've just gotten started. I've got a few people helping now, and we're over 100 signatures for this Parks and Recs development. And I don't know if M.U.D has any control over what happens, if you have to sell it to the highest bidder or whatever. I don't know. But I have talked to the mayor's office, and it was suggested maybe a private-public partnership could come up with the money like Logiers is trying to do with Miller Park, something like that. So anyway, I would just like to get some feedback from M.U.D as to what's going on at this point, if you can. And I don't know if you want to see the petition I'm passing around. It just basically says that M.U.D will be ready. Well, I had talked to Adam Gartner sometime during the summer, and he thought maybe by 2026, the end of 2026, the property would be ready to pass on, but that wasn't a definite thing. So we'd just like to have some idea of where M.U.D is with the property. So do I need to continue petitioning, or should I stop?
I'd like to make just a personal comment. It really warms my heart to hear your comments about the fountain, because at one point I lived on Lafayette Avenue, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and we worked diligently as a committee to retain that fountain and to keep it functioning for the very reason that you've come in today to express.
Yes, and the kids are in it. They love it. We all love it. And we love to hear the water.
Well, it really adds to the park. I mean, it really. Oh, definitely. It really is such a positive feeling to have that fountain there. I remember many a time walking up to it, and it just makes you feel better.
It does. It does. The sound of water.
I'm really glad you came in, and then I'm going to hand this over to Mark Doyle. Thank you.
Thank you for attending. We appreciate your comments.
Thank you.
And I think I'd ask Mark Mendenhall to give an update. We'd be happy to do that.
All right, thank you. Mark Mendenhall, Senior Vice President, General Counsel. Appreciate Ms. Minturn coming in. As she indicated, we've spoken a number of times, and I know she's had discussions with others in the engineering and corporate communications group, and so we appreciate the relationship that we've built with her and understand that many in the neighborhood think highly and are very well invested in the future of that area. And so we appreciate that. I think every neighborhood would benefit from having such a passionate group of people as both Bemis and Walnut Hill has. In terms of the reservoirs themselves, as you know, or as maybe you will recall, we have entered into an agreement with an engineering firm that is working on the design of the demolition. This isn't just something that you can give me a sledgehammer and I'm going to go out and take them out myself. The reservoirs themselves are close to the two buildings that are kind of at the top of the hill, both the pump station and the electrical engine building. And so it requires some engineering effort to determine how best to demolish the reservoirs themselves. We hope to have that plan done yet this spring, early summer. Our engineering team and water operations team are working closely with that group. At that point, or sometime around that point, this board or committee thereof will be having some discussions based on what that engineering report says. Primarily, the question will be, can we save the building or buildings, or will they be jeopardized by taking out the reservoirs? Because again, they're close proximity. I mean, we're talking within 25 or so feet of where the reservoirs are at. If the buildings can be salvaged, there's also a question of what is the future use of the buildings, because the buildings themselves are not in a great condition, but we'll be having some discussions with you all about that. At some point then, again, I'm not being real specific because it somewhat depends on when we have those designs completed, we will be ready to go out to bid to hire the contractor to come out and demolish the reservoirs. Around that same time, our Stephanie's team, and I'm happy to come along as well, will be going to, or we plan to be going to the neighborhood associations. Well, talking to you all first and then going to the neighborhood associations, and I expect having prints, drawings of what will be demolished and what won't be. And so you all will be well informed of what will be demolished and what can be saved, what can't be saved, and then we'll be meeting with the neighborhood associations as well. In terms of the future, so then let's just again, ideally hope that we can demolish the reservoirs and it becomes a flat, essentially buildable ground. What happens next? And again, that's going to be a decision for you all as elected officials to weigh in on. I think that in my mind, the city, and I know Mary indicated she's talked to the mayor's office, I think the city is going to, or should have a seat at the table to have some input on what the future plans will be for the area. And then I guess in my mind, it would be what we've talked about is something called a call for offers, essentially, where we allow anyone, I mean, it could be a developer that wants to bring in a park, it could be a developer that wants to bring in mixed use, multifamily, residential properties, that they are given an opportunity to present to you all, whether like a written package, and we also, at that same or next meeting, we hear from the public. And so Ms. Minturn and her neighbors, similar if you remember how we did the downtown building, where we had a line out the door, literally out the door, where people can take their 3 minutes and lodge their concerns or their requests to you all. And then come back another month, have you all digest it, and come back another month, and then you all, I hate to, I don't want to make hard decisions, but this would be one of those difficult decisions where you all would have to weigh in on what is the best outcome. Again, since it impacts a significant area, I mean, this is urban core of the city. I think that the city should have some involvement, and so we intend to also have discussions with both the mayor's office, Parks office, city planning, et cetera. And so there's a lot still to be done. But in terms of the design of the demo, we expect that to be ready this spring, and we'd be ready to go to bid to select a demolition contractor this summer. So a lot to be done, but we're getting closer. And while I appreciate her comments that some neighbors might not want anything to be changed there, unfortunately, the reservoirs, as you know, they're in a deteriorating condition. With every thunderstorm and windstorm, I think they become in potentially worse condition. And so really for the betterment of the district, and I think the neighborhood, we're able to demolish those safely. And so that's, I'm sorry, long answer to your comment. So.
Can I just make one?
Sure.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I believe it was now, planning.
You can move this down.
Oh, thanks. Planning Department presented a future land use map to the City Council for adoption, and our neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods around the M.U.D reservoir property of Walnut Hill, we, with the support of our area representative, Juanita Johnson, we objected to changing the M.U.D reservoir area from civic to mixed use, and it remains civic. So we did put some pressure on there to keep it civic, and we did manage that. I know they can probably change it easily, but that might give you an idea of how the neighborhoods strongly feel about having something that benefits our neighborhoods. There will never be a property large enough come available in that area, kind of centrally around the neighborhoods where a parks development could occur. So, thank you.
Well, I would say, as the new board chairperson, that I really appreciate you coming in. And I know there are a number of issues with this. We've dealt with this over a period of time. For one thing, there's not a lot of parking up in that area.
Well, excuse me, the plan I drew does account for parking. There would be parking on the property.
Oh, on the property you're thinking? I'm thinking on the street,
yeah, we can't
which is pretty limited.
No,
Yeah.
that would be a big...
And I've gone up there and looked at that property. The reservoirs themselves really have nothing to offer as far as I can see.
No, well, we know they have to go.
Past their due.
Yeah, no, we know they have to go. It's just some people are just like, you know.
The pump house itself is really interesting and really historic. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to see it, but it's very Art Deco, 1920s. And, you know, if there's a possibility of saving that and using that productively, I would certainly support that.
On behalf of Preserve Omaha, we had asked for a tour, but at the time, there's so much going on up there. It's kind of their point of, I don't know, keeping all their equipment there for all the gas line replacements. They just didn't want us around there at that time, so we'll ask again.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. That's really important.
It is important. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to assure you, and thank you for coming in. None of us has a crystal ball as to what's going to happen.
No.
One thing I can assure you, though, this will be a very transparent process, as Mr. Mendenhall spelled out. So.
Yes, I appreciate that, and yeah.
And that's a neighborhood I grew up in. My old stomping grounds.
Gifford Park, yeah.
Mid-City, Little League, Memorial Park practice field, St. Cecilia Grade School football field that we practiced on.
So you know how many kids live
Yes.
in the area in Walnut Hill and
Yes.
Walnut Hill School, and Pace has said that they would be interested in starting a basketball program for the Walnut Hill kids, but there's no basketball courts anywhere. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of pluses to have a Parks and Recs development if you have any say about it.
Yes. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments today that anyone would like to come forward? Okay, thank you. None. I don't see anyone. The what?
Motion to.
Oh, here we go. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Roll call.
Begley?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Sidzik?
Yes.
McGowan?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Kavanaugh?
Yes.